Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment. And here we go.
This episode is not brought to you by Best Buy. They're a real piece of trash and we hate them. This episode is sponsored by the new movie, Mountain Man. It's a man versus a mountain. Check it out on the Levels of Geek podcast.
And now your hosts of Levels of Geeks Live, Alex Figueroa and Nate.
Oh. Nate from Netflix Reviews. Everyone's saying they can't hear you. And I don't know if they can hear me. Says, hey, Alex, can't hear you. Can y'all hear me? Can you guys hear Nate? Put in the chat if you hear Nate speaking right now. Let's see. No sound.
How about now?
Alex, can you? We can hear Nate. Oh, they can hear me.
All right.
Well, if you guys want to follow us on social media, you want to follow us on, I'm trying to remember everything you said. If you want to join us every week on Monday at 9 and subscribe to the channel and video game footage and all that. Can y'all hear? Oh, now wait, can they hear Alex? Can y'all hear Alex right now?
I think they can hear me. Can everyone hear me? I think they should be able to hear me.
We can hear Nate. We can hear Nate. Okay, 4 people hear me.
Everyone hears Nate. Why does everyone
Y'all hear Alex?
I know.
I just need someone to say it so that we can move on. Oh, we can hear Alex now.
All
okay,
right,
Alex,
there we go.
You're good to go.
There we go. All right.
I did a terrible reinterpretation of what you just said. It was horrible.
I know. I feel like crap. I'm like, hey, what the hell? What the hell just
You're like,
went
that's
on
what
here?
I heard. That's what I said. What Nate just said.
All right. Again, guys, welcome to the show. We're back at the 80s, like we said before. Again, if you were here last week, we tackled the 70s. So again, if you missed that episode, check out last week's episode. We hit the 70s. We were there grooving and dancing in Studio Geeky 9. That's right. We were there dancing along. Again, to all the patrons, thank you so much to everyone that support the channel. But again, I'll buy the popcorn is here. Stephanie's in the house. We got
what up?
Harrison for Really Old Movies is here. James Perez, my wife, is here. Pop Culture 33 is here. Jay Manley, Robert Makes the Cut. Nate is here.
Ralph is here.
Ralph
On time.
is here.
Shout out to Ralph.
Yeah. Again, guys, thank you so much. Again, and it's fun. It's gonna be tonight. Is gonna be a fun time. Another fun night, of course, like always. And today we're gonna reveal our director spotlight that's going to happen in April. So again, guys, that is going to be happening tonight. We're going to reveal that soon once we hit into the 80s. I'm going to reveal all that. Jamel's in the house. How you doing, Jamel? No, Studio.
Geeky 9.
Geeky 9. Geeky 9. But, Nate, you have anything to say before we start hitting this time machine and start hitting the 80s?
Couple things. Number one, how's everybody doing? Hope you had a great weekend. I had a good weekend. It was my birthday Friday. Had a nice weekend. Ate a lot of food. The patrons know. Alex knows. Ate a lot of food. Big steak. I do want to say this is going to be fun today because really this whole concept came out of the fact that it has been scientifically proven that Alex loves the 80s movies and 80s. I love 90s movies. And with those being each of our, and we like the other, like he likes 90s movies too and I like 80s movies too, but he swears by the 80s. I swear by the 90s. And that created this whole idea of, why don't we just go through the decades and see which one's the best? Now, clearly it's all subjective. What's the best? I don't know, but it's a good conversation. And it's always good to go down the trip down memory lane of these movies. Also, again, I want to reiterate from last week. Listen, guys, in the chat, everybody watching, this is not a best of the decades list. No. We are not doing that. We could give our best, and that would be a fun list. Maybe in the future we will do our personal. Yes. This is literally no personal. None of our personal choices. Well, some of our personal choices might have made it in, but we did not base it. So in the chat if you guys are like, hey, this movie stinks. Well, you know what? We only picked it because it was a huge movie. These are the biggest movies, or if you want to look at it another way, the most successful films of these decades. We are not saying this is the most 80s movie of all time because there's a lot that didn't make the list. Yeah. I told Alex, I want to give some, we'll give some right away that didn't make the list. So you're not going to see them. Don't guess them. No Gremlins. Sorry, Jimmy. Don't get mad at me. No Ghostbusters didn't make the cut.
List. Nope.
The Goonies, a huge 80s movie. Rambo, the Rambo movies. Beverly Hills Cop. These were big movies and they're very quintessentially 80s, but they were not the overall biggest successes of the 80s. The 10 we are doing is the metrics we used. This is what we came up with. So just keep that in mind. If your favorite movie didn't make it, we apologize in advance. No Pop Culture 33, no Rocky film. Rocky didn't make the list. So I think this one might get a couple people might be like, what the heck on a couple of these movies. But I think we kind of agreed. Most of these are pretty much like huge.
No, these are the ones on this list for tonight are pretty big. And I want to say is that if you haven't seen these movies, take the time and check them out. Why were they so big in the 80s? I mean, I saw 6 out of the 70s, and most of them I liked them. Some I loved. Now we get the 80s. There's 3 80s movies on this list that I'd never seen, and I saw them this weekend, and they were... One was not good, 2 was good, and 1 hit me really hard, which we're going to talk about on the list. Which is pretty good. I mean, Nate, how many of the movies you have not seen on the 80s so we can let people know?
I only had to watch 2.
Okay.
For this. And they both star the same actor. That's the only hint I'll give.
Yeah.
They both star the same actor. Other than that, I'd seen 8 out of the 10. And 90s and on, I've seen all. There's no more I have to rewatch for this. So.
All right, so here we go. I know you guys are ready to go and to travel down the time machine. Let's get my man Willy Wonka to start it all off.
Ooh. Everyone signed? Yes. Good. On we go.
Oh, now this is we got 80s music instead of disco music.
Oh, yeah.
We got the synthesizer.
All right, everyone. Welcome to the 80s. We're here in the 80s. We're here in the club now. We're in the 80s club. Before we get started with everything, we want to give out the director spotlight so you guys could start watching his entire filmography if you want to join in with us on that Monday, April 4th. So, with that said, let's have some fun. I'm going to reveal it. Let's show it off. This is the director spotlight for April 4th. That is when it's going to happen on this show. And for those of you out there going, hey, Alex, what is the director spotlight? Well, director spotlight is me and Nate. We picked our first director. We're going to watch his entire filmography. And then we're going to rank them live. We're going to give you guys each thoughts on each of his films, which ones are good out of the top 5 of his filmography, and then give you guys a lot of fun facts about his filming, the style, did it change throughout the years, the older the person got, all that jazz. So, again, think of it like a class, but we're going to have fun with it because a lot of this stuff is just to expand our filmology, and yeah,
watch
that's the whole point.
Who wants to watch? I like rewatching movies, but we'll watch some new ones. And this is going to be a lot of fun. Like Alex said, this first director we picked, which we're going to reveal in a moment, the big reveal. Only theatrical movies, just some background. We're not doing TV movies.
No music videos.
No music videos, right? No commercials. Feature films only. And we will be watching all of them. We will talk about all of them. We will each rank our top 5 favorites.
Yep.
And like you said, we'll give some fun facts, some box office totals. I've already done some of the stats work. Alex, I've sent it to Alex for the first 2. We're only going to announce the first one tonight, but I already started with the second one too. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, so okay, no further ado. This is the director you guys all wanted us to do. And our first director in the director spotlight is Michael Mann. So we're going to hit all 11 films for my man Michael Mann. And of course, you guys could chime in if you guys have not seen those films. Watch them all. April 4th, we're going to get together on that Monday, and we're going to talk about all his films on that one show. So with that said, now let's have some fun.
You guys picked this one pretty much. This is another one, an idea birthed from the chat. hey,
Yeah.
Michael Mann. I don't remember we were talking about a Michael Mann movie or something, and it came up like we should watch those movies, and Alex hadn't seen a number of them, and you guys all wanted it. I know Waka the Butcher was especially like Michael Mann. And look at that. Our first one will be Michael Mann. Our second one is also very good, but you'll have to wait. When we do the Michael Mann one, we will then announce the next one.
Yeah,
So,
we're gonna.
have to wait a little
That's
bit.
just gonna be good. You guys are gonna hit the floor on that one. But let's get it on with some 80s.
Put the techno back on.
All right, here we go, guys. Some fun facts about the 80s. The presidents were Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, all right, and he was an actor. Remember, he was an actor. He was the president, and of course, we got George Bush. Some popular songs were "Purple Rain" by Prince. We got "Beat It" by Michael Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
We got "Straight Outta Compton" by NWA.
Oh, nice.
And then "What Love Got to Do with It" by Tina Turner. And then, of course, too many good artists and songs from the list. You got the Aha with the Take On Me. We got a lot of those. MTV debuted in 1981. Of course. Blockbuster opened in 1985. VHS rentals were on the rise. For those of you out there, this is what a VHS looked like. And then, of course, we got gaming consoles, NES from 1983, Atari 7800, 1986, Sega Genesis 1987, and of course Star Trek The Wrath of Khan from 1982, and it was the first all-digital CG sequence in a featured film. That was your 80s notes.
Pretty good. I mean, look, the 80s is one of those decades that is very nostalgic for a lot of people. A lot of wild stuff in the 80s. I feel like all the movie studios, very creative movies started. Not that there wasn't creativity before. There always has been. But very outlandish plots in these movies. I think a lot of cocaine flowing through the Hollywood Hills. It was just like
flowing here too, baby.
Cascading. Yeah. You know, and this is what came out was a lot of these movies that we're going to be talking about. So
Yeah.
pretty good.
No,
Video games and Nintendo.
No, it is, and that's really cool, right? Like if you really think about it, Saturday morning cartoons was big in the 80s. I mean, that's where I grew up with. You got the G.I. Joes, the Thundercats, you got the Transformers, the original, not that Michael Bay crap we saw this whole damn week.
WrestleMania, 1985. Hulkamania was the 80s.
Yep. Yeah,
Very
I
good.
mean, but let's start it off. Let's have some fun. Let's start it off with number 10 of the 80s list. Let me just pull up the list here on my iPad so I know which one I'm pulling up. I don't want to screw that puppy up live. All right, here we go. Boop. All right. So, number 10. Here we go. I'm going to pull up the list. Bam. And
Now I can hear you better.
what happened?
I said now I can hear you better without the music.
Oh, yeah,
playing.
without the
I mean, I
music.
could hear you, but now I can hear you better.
Oh, you know, yeah. But here we go. Cue my music. So once I say it, you guys have 20 seconds to figure out which movie is number 10. We're going to do the same thing we did last week, and then me and Nate are going to break it down. You guys will break it down, and then we all going to be breaking it down together. So again, guys, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. But let's have some fun with this 80s.
Give us your
decades
thoughts
battle.
on the movie that is being talked about. Let us know what you think of it.
All right, so here we go. Box office, $546 million, 4 Academy Award nominations, 1 win. Critics, Rotten Tomatoes, 96% critics, 94% audience. And again, to some people, this is a perfect movie script. Name that movie.
All right, let's see. Bring up camera. Okay, Pablo LaFrossi is going with E.T. Good, solid guess. Let's see what else we got. We got one guess so far. Raging Bull. Pop Culture 33 guessing Raging Bull. Okay, there's your stats, guys. In case you need a reminder. 546, and that's in today dollars, of course. 4 Academy Award nominations, 1 win, 96 at 94. What do y'all got? Out of Africa. Raging Bull, E.T. Those are the guesses so far. We'll get one more guess in, and then Alex will hit him with the title. When Harry Met Sally. Ralph, a classic Ralph movie. All right, let's see what it really is.
All right, here you go, guys. This is number 10 on the 80s list, and the movie is Back to the Future. To a lot of people, this is a perfect movie script with no flaws. Okay?
Yep.
Nate, what do you think about my man Back to the Future?
I love this movie. I love this movie. I'll say this. Out of the top 10 movies, the 8 that I had already seen, I could probably say I love all of them, or I'm very close. I love Back to the Future. Back to the Future 2, fun fact, Back to the Future 2 actually made more money than Back to the Future 1. But this ended up being the more critical success, higher audience reviews, better reception besides just box office, ended up making the list. I love this movie. I love the score, iconic. Doc Brown, Marty McFly, great characters. I would say it might be one of those perfect scripts. I love the film.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, it's a movie that you can continue watching. And this is a movie, if you guys do not have it on 4K, get your ass to a Best Buy or order it from Amazon, because this is a good-looking, good-sounding 4K. I'm telling you right now, this is a good one for you guys to put on. But let me just tell you right now, this is a famous scene that Pablo LaFrosia put on the chat with Ronald Reagan, is when Marty McFly meets Doc for the first time. He goes, "Hey, future boy, who's the president in your time?" He was like, "Ronald Reagan." He goes, "Ronald Reagan, the actor?" And then he starts.
I saw Pablo mention it. I had to keep my mouth shut because I didn't want to give away that it was the first movie.
Yeah, so he said that, and then he's running. The next thing you're gonna tell me, Jerry Lewis is this vice president. Yeah. But yeah, again, like, you have so many classic catchphrases from that movie. Great Scott. I mean, a lot of emotional stuff there, but come on, that car, it's so sexy. Another iconic movie history car, besides the actual one, DeLorean, right there for you guys. Let's see.
And the talent involved with this: Steven Spielberg producing, Robert Zemeckis directing, Alan Silvestri score,
Bob Gale writer.
Like, it's just it's too good, too much talent to not be amazing.
I agree with you. All right, let's see. Pop Culture 33 said, "I saw Back to the Future Part 2 double feature with Tremors. That was a good day. That was a good day. That is a good day." Pablo LaFrosia said, "Look, I saw this in the theaters 4 times.
Nice. Yeah. I would probably, if I was alive back then, I probably would want to.
I think so. Me too. Yeah. Let me see. Tony Moo Chappie said, "Look, Back to the Future 2 is my favorite of the trilogy." Oh, that's a hot take.
Ooh, that he did above. He said, "Hot take. I'm actually someone that prefers Part 2. Definitely not for me. Not for me. But hey, for some, I do know a few other people who like 2 better."
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, 2 has a little, but I don't know. I think 1 is just so classic. And then the music kicks up when he's turning on the car. Amazing. Oh, I love it. All right, here we go, James. We take a few more, and then we're gonna go on to the next. Ralph, of course, has to throw some horror. I saw Aliens in the theaters like 8 times.
James said, "This is only number 10? That's heavy, man."
That's the word heavy.
This is number 10. Yeah.
Remember when Doc Brown? Again, the word heavy. What's going on? It's a gravitational pull. Yeah. All right. Tony Moo Chappie says, "But the first one is an all-time classic." I totally agree. I don't want to skip anybody out there. Please continue commenting. We'll get to them as soon as possible. All right, here we go. Number 9. Okay, because you thought that. You thought that one. You thought that one is going to be heavy hitters from now on, people. All right, here we go. Number 9. I'm going to pull it up here. Bam. Okay. Box office numbers, $512 million in inflation, because that's when they did. 9 Academy Award nominations again. 1 win. Rotten Tomatoes gave this movie 90% critics, 81% audience. So again, guys, name that film.
Yep. Definitely included inflation because I wanted y'all to see, like, if these movies came out now, how would they have done?
I don't think they're going to guess this. I don't think they're going to guess this one.
Aliens, Tony Movie Chappie. E.T., Pablo LaFrosia, again. Blade Runner from Pop Culture.
That's a good one.
All great picks. Those 3 are all great picks.
Love it, but no.
Police Academy.
All right, we take a few more.
Oh, Terminator. Gandhi. None of these are bad guesses at all. Fried green tomatoes. Stand by Me. I mean, all fantastic guesses.
All great.
All wrong.
All right, here we go, guys. Here we go. What is that number 9 80s movie? My man Dustin Hoffman with some Tootsie.
Tootsie.
Yeah.
My man Dustin Hoffman.
Yo, let me just tell you, I saw this movie today, right? Because this was a movie I never saw. I said, "Oh my God, let me get some Tootsie in me." So I was like,
Let me get some Tootsie in me. Oh, boy.
right? Let me tell you something. This is the originator of Mrs. Doubtfire. This is what Tootsie was. If you guys saw Mrs. Doubtfire, you fell in love with it. This is what Tootsie was in the 80s. Mm-hmm. This was a good movie. The third act kind of slowed down, and I felt like it was just kind of wrapped really weird. But the first, I mean, it has Bill Murray as his friend. It's mad funny.
Sidney Pollack directing.
Yeah.
Great director.
Gina Davis is in this movie. So you have a lot of good actors from the 80s here. It's a good movie. A lot of fun laughs. Like, I laughed my ass off from the first two acts. And then, like I said, the third act just fell apart for me. But it's a good movie. If you guys have not seen Tootsie, I recommend it. Nate?
Dustin Hoffman is fantastic in this. He's fantastic in this.
Yeah.
And we're in 70s and 80s so far. A lot of Dustin Hoffman. He was in the 70s movies. He's in this movie. Dustin Hoffman was, oh yes, pop culture reminding you of where you said, get some Tootsie in me.
You hear it first. Get some Tootsie.
Yeah, Dustin Hoffman is a great actor. He's great in this movie. Mm-hmm. I'll agree with you. This is a movie that I had never seen. This was one of the two that I had never seen. And I thought it was good. I thought it's a really good movie. It's the kind of movie that, like, if it gets a 4K or like a new Criterion or something cool, I would probably buy it. I do think it's worthy of owning. Obviously, it was critically acclaimed, 9 Academy Awards. It only won 1, but still. And imagine a movie like this now coming out making 512. I do know Mrs. Doubtfire, adjusted for inflation, probably made similar. So these are the kind of movies you can't make too much anymore now. They don't fly in this climate. Like, it just would not happen. So go back and watch these where you could still enjoy them, because it was pretty darn good.
It was funny, man. I'm telling you, it was a sleeper for me. I was like, oh, man, I'm really going to see this crap? And it was hilarious. The only thing with Mrs. Doubtfire is that Robert Williams, his comedic background, he just brought it to life. But Dustin Hoffman brings his acting chops. I'm just telling you right now.
Look at that really poster. Good. Look at that haircut. I mean, how can you not see like Dustin Hoffman with that haircut?
He's doing the army thing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's see what people are thinking about it. Tony Movie Chappie says, I've never even heard of this movie.
Don't worry.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Pablo LaFrossi, I saw this one in the theaters too. Okay. Pop Culture 33 said, when I was a kid, I thought this movie was about the creator of the Tootsie Roll. Come see Tootsie, the story of how the creation of the Tootsie Roll and the Tootsie Pop. Tony says, I wonder if that ever happened to Dustin Hoffman, or whatever happened to him. He's old. I don't know. Sidney Pollack was awesome as his agent. Yeah, and he was also the director. So I've not seen a lot of reviews or what you guys think of the movie, but clearly a number of you guys have seen it. But yeah, it was big. This was the surprise to me.
Yeah.
All the other movies are ones that I figured could be on there. This was the one that was like, really? But hey, it was a big, huge hit.
No, I'm not going to lie, dude. Tootsie, I can see now why it had this big thing around it. It is actually really good. Yeah. My wife says it's funny seeing Dustin in his prime versus seeing him in Meet the Parents. She started laughing.
Meet the Fockers. I like him in that, though. Where he's doing the capoeira. He's like the Brazilian dance fighting.
Yeah. It's just some hardcore shit, man.
Yeah, he's so funny in that. But it is true. I love Dustin. Like, there's so many Dustin Hoffman movies. I mean, he was in Kramer versus Kramer. He was in this. I love him when I was a kid. I loved him in Hook. Like, that was a movie I grew up with.
He's my favorite Captain Hook, dude. I loved him. He was good. Okay, here we go. We're going to go into number 8, because, I mean, it's going to get good. This is going to be some saucy stuff.
So far, no correct guesses yet. Let's see if someone gets one.
Yeah, this is it, guys. Here we go. We're going to number 8. Number 8. Did I hit? Oh, sorry. Number 8. Here we go. Box office number 700 million inflation dollars.
Oof.
4 Academy Award nominations, 1 win. Of course, the Rotten Tomato critics gave it an 82% and 94% audience. Name that movie. And while that's happening, me and Nate do some promotionals while you guys are trying to guess it. So today I released Bumblebee. If you guys have not seen, we released our bonus episode on our audio podcast. It's Bumblebee from 2018. Me and Nate sat down. We finished the Transformers franchise. And we wanted to give you guys a bonus episode. First time watch for me. So check out my thoughts on that. Again, it's released on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, any platform you listen to your podcasts on. Check it out. Enjoy it.
Yes, it was a great episode.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got. Platoon, The Thing,
Nope.
Die Hard,
Nope.
Platoon,
Nope.
Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back,
Nope.
Popeye,
Nope.
Top Gun,
Nope.
Empire Strikes Back,
Nope.
or Predator. Okay, that's a good enough guess.
All right, that's pretty much good because someone's gonna figure out just by naming every 80s movie. All right, here we go,
Go
guys.
Beyond the Stars.
The movie-
Roger Corman.
The movie is name that movie. Star Wars: Return of the Jedi.
Some of y'all were close. You said
You guys were
Empire.
close.
You guys were close.
Mad close, but let me just tell you, this is the movie that I like from the 3 trilogy, from the original OG. Why? Because when I was little, this is the first Star Wars movie I saw. So I loved it.
Makes sense.
So I was like, oh, this is a good one. I love the Ewok. My wife loves the Ewoks. That's her thing. But I love that battle at the end. Luke and Darth Vader in the dark. And I wish they emulated it in the damn new movies. I was like, why you guys can't give me that? Suspense.
Yeah.
Loved it. Anyway, Nate,
Right.
what did you think of Return of the Jedi?
You know, this is one of those ones where it's I don't consider it a hot take, but other people tell me it's kind of a hot take. This is my third favorite of the original trilogy.
Okay.
I like it. I just hate the Ewoks. Now, I didn't grow up watching this movie. So, I think if I was a kid, maybe I'd, like it better. But I don't like those scenes. I think the beginning's kind of slow. You know what I mean? But on the whole, I do enjoy it. I still rank it above most of the other Star Wars movies. It's my third favorite of the original 3. I mean, you get Carrie Fisher, Slave Leia, hello. Jabba the Hutt, hello. He's nude. But no, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Not my favorite, but very good.
Yeah, I mean, look what people are saying. Pablo said, I waited in line for 8 hours. Yikes.
Oh my gosh. Those were the
Tony
days.
Movie Chappie said, look, I love Return of the Jedi. It's my personal favorite of the trilogy, and I didn't mind the Ewoks. Hey, a lot of people like that stuff. I'm telling you. James Paris said his wife, Tracy, loves this one because of the Ewoks.
Shout out to Tracy.
Yeah, shout out to Tracy.
And now I know what to get her for her birthday. You get her a
Ewok
stuffed
shirt.
Ewok. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Robert Makes the Cut says, look, A New Hope, Empire, then Return of the Jedi. My wife says, don't like the Ewoks. Blown, mind blown.
Mad at me.
Oh
Here
my
we go.
God.
Creating enemies every minute I live.
Yeah, you love that stuff.
They're just they're creepy. Their teeth are too big for their faces, and I don't like them.
They remind me of the people that brought the plane down in Twilight Zone. Where's like, there's something in the plane. And I was like, that's
the thing on the wing.
yeah. I don't think that's an Ewok. Damn little critters.
Evil Ewok.
Yeah, Tony Muchabi said, look, I always was a fan of Jabba the Hutt. Ha, 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 ha.
He's cool.
Yeah, he's cool. I
Big
didn't know what the hell he
practical
was saying.
effect. Boba Fett falls in the Sarlacc pit. That's always a good time.
Yeah.
It's great.
No, it's great. And then he is survived by the Tusken Raiders. Bastards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the Gremlins. No, not the Gremlins. All right, here we go. Next movie on the list. Oh,
This
man.
is getting
I don't
intense
know.
already.
No one can
We're already getting
I have not
intense.
seen anyone guess it yet. I love it.
I think last week it took till like number 5.
Yeah. Don't worry, they'll get it. All right, here we go. Box office, $708 million, 3 Academy Award nominations, 2 wins. Rotten Tomatoes give this movie 94% critics, 97% audience. Name that movie, everyone.
Great audience score there. 97.
Yeah.
And 1 million more than the last movie.
No,
A
I know.
whole
I
million.
mean, I mean, you're right,
Close.
though. I mean,
See what we got here.
that's-
Die Hard. Oh, Charles Woods. I love this film. I related to Luke. My father tried to kill me too and wore capes sometimes.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Lord. Let's see.
Conan?
Die Hard, Raging Bull, Dirty Dancing, Grease 2, E.T., Conan the Bar. All of these are fantastic guesses.
But
All
no.
incorrect so far.
You lose. Good day, sir.
Hey, this is a testament to the 80s as far as how many like memorable movies there are. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's true. I mean, if you really think about it, there's so many so much fantastic movies that we're not even scraping the surface.
Aliens, Red Dawn, Scarface. Charles Wood says Empire Strikes Back.
And Charles Woods is
Charles
correct.
got it.
Yeah.
Finally, someone got one right.
Oops, wrong movie posted.
Fix it. There it is.
There it is. Oh, what did I do? Oh, there we go. And there we go. Sorry. Whoop. There we go. Fixed
There it is.
Yeah, so Empire Strikes Back made like 100,000 more than Return of the Jedi, which is actually really good if you really think about it.
Well, it came out before it.
I mean, yeah.
So with inflation,
708
it ended up making more money.
Yeah. But it's not bad. So Empire Strikes Back, Good movie. Love it. I think it's actually a pretty cool. But I still think Return of the Jedi is better for me.
This one is my favorite of
You
the
like
original
this one?
trilogy. I'm just, you know what it is? And I didn't want to like it because everyone else seems to like it so much that when I got into these movies, like I had seen Star Wars when I was a kid, but really the ones that came out when I like Phantom Menace came out when I was 12. So really like that's the first Star Wars movie that opened when I was like alive. And so I watched these later and I knew Empire, everybody talks about it. But I see why. Like I love the stuff on Hoth in the beginning, the reveal of Darth Vader, you know what I mean? Iconic. I like the Han and Leia in this one. I think the love story is the best of the three movies. This one is where it's like it's even on the poster. Like, look at that shot. Just dipping her back. Like, I just feel like it's
a sexy shot.
Yeah. And freaking Yoda. I just think it's for me, it's the best one, but I think I love the franchise or, in general, especially those first three, because you can really ask three people and they'll give you three different answers. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best thing about it. Jay Manley said, look, the best Star Wars movies of them all. There you go. Pop Culture 33, I just watched a Star Wars documentary with my sons. Awesome.
Nice.
With his son. And Tony Moon Chappie said, look, hot take, Star Wars Empire Strikes Back is my least favorite of the trilogy, but still a good movie.
I think Tony just lives to do hot takes. Like,
yeah,
he just looks at whatever's everyone else says and then picks the other one.
Ralph says, what about Raiders of the Lost Ark?
What about Raiders of the Lost Ark? Hey, that's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, I like that one. That was a good sequel.
That's a good flick.
James Paris said the best line of the movie. No. Pablo LaFrosia said my favorite of all the Star Wars movies. All right, there you have it, guys.
Me, Jay, and Pablo got to hang out and go and watch. We'll do a watch party for Empire Strikes Back.
There you go. All right, so here we go. The next movie on the list.
All right, what is this?
Here we go.
5 or 6?
This is number 6.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Box office numbers, $925 million. Inflation.
Huge.
1 Academy Award nomination, 1 win. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 71% critics, and 84 audience score. Name that movie.
Good luck. I don't think anyone's going to get this one.
I don't think so.
And that's a lot of money. 925. Like, if this opened now, almost $1 billion movie. What do we got here?
Name
Let's
that
see.
movie, boys
Raiders of the
and
Lost
girls.
Ark. Robert wants to know if he was spelling it in
E.T.
German. Maybe.
No.
Die
Hard.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Nope.
E.T. Die Hard.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Nope.
Okay. Good guesses, guys.
And we see the real Boba, not the weak ass on that Disney show.
I haven't watched it yet because everyone keeps talking about it bad.
Yeah, it's horrible. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Good choice, but
Good
no.
guess.
Oh, Stephanie!
Batman. Oh my gosh!
Stephanie got it
Stephanie
right!
got it! Holy
she was
moly!
on Rotten Tomatoes, like, let me look at these
She
numbers.
Googled it. What
She
movie
Googled
made
it.
74% critics score?
She picked it. All right, so yeah, Batman 1989 scored $925 million. Inflation. 1 Academy Award nomination, 1 win, and of course the critics didn't like it as much. Go figures, DC. 84% audience.
This was considered dark and violent when it came out.
But I love it.
So they didn't love it. They were like, this movie's not for kids. This is too dark. Because at this point, all you had were the Superman movies, right? And they're very light. Speaking of, plug, we're going to be reviewing them on the Action Movie Guys podcast coming up this week. But, very light, very lighthearted. And then this comes out, and people getting killed, pretty violent, pretty dark. And so the critic score, you could see it reflect there. The 1 Academy Award it won was for it was like set design or something. Like it was like a technical award.
Yeah.
But the audiences really enjoyed it. 84, but they enjoyed it with their wallet. 925. But Batman's really always been a cash cow. I mean,
yeah,
it's just movies make a lot of money.
That's why we have like 800 reboots. But let me just tell you, this 1989, we're going to hit it in the Action Movie Guys podcast again, guys.
Yeah.
Just keep listening to it. We're going to hit the Batman sooner or later.
Oh, yeah.
But this movie is awesome. I mean, Michael Keaton as Batman, he looks like Batman out the comics, Michael Keaton. Bruce Wayne, I'm a little but he's still pretty good as Bruce Wayne. Jack Nicholson as the Joker, you can't go wrong with Jack. You just can't. No. It's a beautiful, it's a really good movie, man. Let me just say, if you don't own it in 4K, get it, because this this 4K is dynamite. It is awesome.
Say, for me, this movie is the most interesting thing about it is all the choices for talent, right? Like Michael Keaton's not the guy you think of for Bruce Wayne, but it works.
Yeah.
Tim Burton is not the director you think of for a Batman movie, but it worked. Danny Elfman's score, that worked. I mean, the score is iconic. The music for this movie it's amazing. But Prince doing the soundtrack, kind of weird, but it kind of works.
Yeah.
And Jack Nicholson, ain't nothing weird about casting Jack Nicholson in anything. That guy is money. And it's no wonder he was so good that, they waited so long to even do the Joker again. Almost 20 years, because they were like, well, Jack Nicholson he kind of did a great job. But yeah, this movie it's not my favorite of the original four, but it's iconic. It's an iconic movie. I love it. And Kim Basinger, gorgeous.
Oh, Santa Maria.
Gorgeous.
Yes. Yeah, she was hot. All right, here we go. Pop Culture 33, Michael Keaton was a comedian. At this time, no one thought he would be good in this serious role. Yeah. Horror and Coffee, I hated E.T. game for Atari. He's talking E.T. when we're talking Batman. He's not like his own world.
This is because Stephanie said she was going to guess E.T. for every guess for the rest of the game.
No, I know. Vicky Vale, yeah, she's hot. Tony Movie Chappie says, Batman's an all-time classic. Michael Keaton was a great Batman, and it's always a solid comic book movie. Yeah.
Check out Charles Woods.
Where's Charles Woods? Charles Woods. Wesley Snipes was also considered dark and violent in the 90s. Oh, my God.
You are not lying.
No, you're
Charles
not.
Woods is telling the truth.
Yeah, he is. I mean, we did that in the Action Movie Guys podcast, Passenger 57. You can check that one out. All right, so here we go. Tony Muchapi said, look, but to be serious, I honestly never been crazy on The Empire Strikes Back, and Luke saying no when Darth Vader is his father was always bothering me. Just too cheesy. 80s.
If someone evil said they were my dad, I'd probably scream no like that. I can't lie. I like Pop Culture 33. He said Batman was amazing. It was the first time I noticed the music in a movie, the soundtrack and the score. Yeah, the music is as much a part of the movie as anything else.
Yeah, it's funny. We're tackling Superman on the Action Movie Guys podcast, but one thing that Superman and Batman do very well is the theme song identifies the hero, right? Like nowadays, you don't. Like Batman could do whatever. All you think of is the pin, 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 pin. Maybe not many people, but when you see Superman, everyone's like dun, 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 dun.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
So,
iconic scores.
Very iconic scores. Alex Thomas is in the house. What's up,
my
Alex? Yeah, how you doing? All right, so here we go, guys. Stephanie, awesome. Loved it. You guessed it. We never thought in a million years that
never. I was like, no way, no one's gonna get this, and she got it.
She got it. Love it. All right, here we go, guys. The next movie on the list. Box office number $651 million, 9 Academy Award nominations, 5 wins. Rotten Tomatoes gave this movie 95% critics, 96% audience. Name that movie.
Ooh, this is a critical monster. 95 critics, 96 audience, 9 Academy Awards, 5 wins. I think this is the most wins of any of the movies. I don't remember the whole list, but this is one of the most wins, if not the most. And a huge amount of money at the box office. Let's see what we got. Predator, Die Hard, E.T., Beverly Hills Cop, Platoon, E.T., Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Ralph, that won 5 Academy Awards? Okay.
For best porqueria film of the 80s.
Raging Bull. He's going to go with it again. That makes sense here with all this critical acclaim. License to drive, Kevin says. License.
All right. So here we go. The movie that this is number 5 is Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yes, that's right. The first Indiana Jones movie is number 5 on the top 80s Battle of the Decades. Now, this movie, we reviewed it once the 4K came out. We said, hey, let's do it for Action Movie Guy podcast. We did it for the podcast. You guys could listen to the review, but these damn things still hold up.
So good. They're so good. They're still so good. I mean, look, I saw this at the theater when they did the re-release, and I felt like I don't feel like I'm watching a new movie because it looks, it's made in the 80s, but it's timeless because it's set in the 30s. So it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Harrison Ford, what a stud. Look at that poster. An absolute stud. The cast, Karen Allen, amazing. The least annoying of any of the female leads in any of the Indiana Jones movies by far. Yours great. This is my favorite Indiana Jones movie. I love it. It's amazing.
No, yeah, look, it just made it. Everyone named it beforehand. Now they don't when they need to. All right, so here we go. Alex Thomas said, I watched Ghostbusters Afterlife and I really enjoyed it. Excellent.
Oh,
Perfect
nice.
movie. I don't agree. James Perry said, look, did anyone catch the Raiders of the Lost Ark reference in Red Notice? I never seen Red Notice.
I saw it, but I wasn't paying attention enough to recognize it, so I'm going to say no.
Let me see. Trying to get Pop Culture 33 said, look, I became a history teacher most likely due to this movie. There you go.
Hey, educating our youth. I appreciate it. That's great. If a movie can make you start a whole job, you know that's a great movie.
Let me see. Pablo the First says the name pisses me off. It's Raiders of the Lost Ark. No Indiana Jones before it.
That's true. This is just like Star Wars. Me and Alex talked offline about Star Wars last week because I kept calling it Star Wars. And he was like, you mean A New Hope? And I'm like, well, that guy like added, I mean, it is A New Hope, but it was just Star Wars when it came out. And Indiana Jones has that same thing. Maybe it's just George Lucas movies. Like this was just released as Raiders of the Lost Ark. But later when they kept making sequels, then they add the Indiana Jones in front of it so that you know it's part of the franchise. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, Pablo. It's annoying.
It is. Tony Movie Chappie said, Raiders of the Lost Ark, personally one of the greatest adventure movies, and I love the scene where the face starts to melt.
At the end.
Iconic.
Great.
Robert Makes the Cut said the score by John Williams is incredible. The Raiders theme. I mean, it's another iconic theme, right?
More John Williams, right? I mean, he got 1,000 movies on these lists that we did, so.
Yeah. Here we go. James Perry says, spoiler alert, in Red Notice, when they're searching in the Nazi treasures, the box from the military with the Ark was there, even had same markings. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Right.
That's a nice little gag, I guess.
Tony Mujabi said Indiana Jones trilogy is in my top 2 favorite movie trilogies of all time. Me and you
no one's
going
to argue with you, Tony. That's a great choice.
Argue. And there's something me and you talked about that I said that this has to be one of the perfect trilogies, like from 1, 2, and 3, perfect.
Now, let me ask you a question, Alex.
Yeah.
Because this has 4 movies.
I know.
Are you one of the people who refuses to acknowledge when a perfect trilogy adds an unnecessary 4th movie? Or do you just say it's a great franchise with like a less great movie in it? Because he says, like, and this happens all the time. This is like a perfect trilogy, but there's a 4th movie or a 5th movie. I don't consider Indiana Jones a trilogy anymore. At this point, it's a quadrilogy or whatever you call it.
I agree with you. I agree. I agree with the 4.
It would have been a perfect trilogy.
It would have been a perfect trilogy. Yeah, I agree. With the 4th one, I mean, the 4th one is not even that bad either. We rewatched it.
I didn't hate it
for what it
but
was.
it's not as good as the first 3, that's all.
No,
it's not perfection like those
Nowhere
first 3.
near it. Okay, here we go, guys. The next movie on the list, box office $777 million, 7 Academy Award nominations, 4 wins, 97% critics, 85% audience. Name that movie. James Perry said, hey, The Matrix ruined its trilogy, and I feel the same way with the Indiana Jones no longer trilogy. Totally agree with you, my friend.
Look at pop culture. That's the hot take of the day. Indiana Jones 4 better than Temple of Doom.
Oh, no.
That might be you beat Tony for hottest hot take.
That is so hot.
Pop culture. Hey.
Oh my God.
Temple is Alex's favorite.
That is my favorite.
That is a scalding hot take.
That is so, oh my God. My face melted.
Let's see what we got. Adventures in Babysitting. Cocoon. Good guesses. E.T. Temple of Doom. E.T. A Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Dream Warriors. Yes. Winner of 4 Academy Awards. Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Dream Warriors. Good guess, though. Very good guess. Very 80s.
Good.
80s was a big year for horror. Hey, I got Chucky on. I got Chucky shirt here. He's 80s. The slasher was on the rise. Princess Bride, a movie I love. Twilight Zone, the movie. All right, we'll get one more guess.
One more guess.
This one has a lot of 7s in it. 777 million, 7 Academy Award nominations. Rain Man. Okay, those are all the guesses.
All right, here we go. Name that movie, and the movie
Great
was
guesses?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh.
Now, we saw this in 4K, and the 4K is outstanding on this movie. And guess what? The movie holds up. And I was so shocked that this is an 80s movie, and the way they did the CGI, him walking through Toontown, was so freaking good.
Yeah.
And him driving the car.
I haven't watched it yet on 4K. I haven't.
You haven't watched it?
I haven't popped it in yet.
Dude, it's amazing. It's
Okay.
amazing. It's really good. And the sound is like through the roof. But yeah, this movie still holds up, man. I'm really shocked that Eddie Murphy was tagged to be the detective in this movie, and he turned it down and it went to Bob Hoskins. So imagine if it was Eddie Murphy. I don't think he would have had the same love. It would have been like some funny stuff.
He would have needed too much humor written for him more than Bob Hoskins needed.
Yeah.
Like Bob Hoskins was the perfect kind of hard-boiled, because this is essentially a film noir with a cartoon character world.
Yeah.
So it's if you took a film noir and then set it in a funny, goofy Looney Tunes world, essentially. Which is why it's so amazing. Robert Zemeckis again. So we're ready with 2 Robert Zemeckis movies here on the list. I mean, I love this movie. It's great. But yeah, no, I can't wait to watch it in 4K. Pablo Frazia, I just want to point out, his guest was on Golden Pond, and that movie made so much. It almost made the list. It was almost in the top 10. I know you. I don't even think you've ever heard of it, right?
I don't even know what that is.
It's got Henry Fonda and Katharine Hepburn, 2 of like the all-time actors from, and that movie made so much money. But it was like in the top 15. So good guess, Pablo. I like that outside the box guess. But yeah, no, this movie is. I mean, it's amazing.
No, it's an amazing movie. All right, Pablo Foster said, "Look, I'm surprised that the audience score was 85%." Yeah,
I
trust
agree.
me, we wonder with this. Tony Movie Chappie said, "Look, Roger Rabbit is a fun movie, but I love all the cameos, and Judge Doom is a great villain. He is awesome, Christopher Lloyd."
Yeah. He's ridiculous.
And the weasels.
Scary.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love the weasels. They're mad funny. Remember the time you keep laughing, you'll die like your cousins.
I like a really old movie. Harrison, our main man, Bob Hoskins was perfect because he plays the straight man to Roger Rabbit's wild card. Exactly right.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy would be doing too much.
I agree.
I think if they casted him.
No, I agree. Pop Culture 32 says, I love the Roger Rabbit ride at Disneyland. Nice.
We don't have that here in Disney World.
Steven said, I remember this taking forever to come on VHS.
Oh, the good old
Remember
VHS.
that? Those days?
Take a year or 2 years to come out on tape.
Yeah. All right. James Paris said Pablo audience scores is lowering due to the wokeness, not liking the portrayal of Jessica Rabbit.
That could be
Look up how they are trying to get this movie banned.
Yeah, that could be because audience. See, so Rotten Tomato audience score. Also, people can still rate it now. Like you can review it now, and it'll go towards it.
Right.
So James might have a point. I do know Jessica Rabbit's a big, contentious thing nowadays. I think it's stupid, but he might have a point there. Also, Tony says I actually prefer Cool World over Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I never.
It's
seen
a weird
Cool World.
movie that I love. You never seen it?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, don't watch it. You're not missing much. It's not that good. But it got Brad Pitt and Gabriel Byrne, and it's like it's weird.
All right, here we go.
Don't watch it.
All right,
Roger
now
Rabbit's
this
better.
is the heavy three. The heavy three of the 80s.
Here we go,
Now,
guys.
This is the heavy three. All right, here we go. Box office numbers: $1.065 billion. Oof. 3 Academy Award nominations, 1 win, 88% critics, 94% audience. Name that freaking movie, man.
$1 billion. We got our first billion movie,
billion, bro. That's $1 billion.
If this came out now, $1 billion.
That's $1 billion.
They're making 15 movies out of this.
It
if
is.
This comes out now.
This is $1 billion. E.T. No. Platoon no.
Nope.
Oh my God, E.T. no. If I said no to E.T., you're gonna put it down.
I think they're typing it before they hear you say no.
Just said no. E.T. Stephanie. Oh my God. Beverly Hills
Rocky
Cop,
4.
Rocky 4.
Beverly Hills Cop. Okay, good guesses.
Die Hard.
Die Hard, good
All
guess.
right. Oh, I love you guys. You guys are so funny. This is the Beastmaster.
The Beastmaster. Oh God.
Dirty Dancing. That's a good
guess.
one. Good. That's
Good guess.
pretty good.
That was a big time movie.
Oh man.
Let's get one or
All right.
two more.
One or two more. Come on. The
Shining?
Shining. Good.
Oh, that was 1980.
Pretty good.
But it ain't right.
No.
Let's get one more.
Why
Come
did
on.
you sound like Hagrid?
I don't know. I just rode the ride this weekend. I went on to Hagrid's motorbike adventure. Now I sound like him.
Come on, Harry. All right. No more.
Garbage
All
Pail
right.
Kids. No.
All right. Here we go,
Gandhi,
guys.
no.
The first $1 billion on this list is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, starring 007 himself, Sean Connery, and my man Harrison Ford as Dr. Jones. Now, let me just tell you, me and Nate, we review this. This movie holds up. Now, my favorite is Temple of Doom, like I tell everybody, but this is my second favorite of the Indiana Jones. I mean, I love the father-son dynamic. They slept with the same woman.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was really funny. So yeah, I like this one. Nate, what do you think of this movie?
Yeah, you know what's funny? When we did that review, we ranked these in the exact opposite order. Well, the first three. Like,
Yeah.
I love 1, then 3, then 2, and you love 2, then 3, then 1. But we both got 3 right there in the middle.
Yeah.
And I think this one feels more like Raiders than Temple of Doom, right? Temple of Doom is like a totally left field movie. You know what I mean? It's like almost like a horror movie and with adventure mixed in, where this one and 1 feel more like similar in tone. You got young River Phoenix in the beginning as young Indiana Jones. Great. I love this movie. It's a lot of fun. It's it's great. It's not surprising that it made so much money. Again, there's a third one. So it did make Temple made the least of the first 3. But I think it was that dark tone. You know what I mean? Like parents might be like, this is kind of too scary for take my kids. This guy's ripping people's hearts out and stuff like that.
I agree.
Classic.
Yeah, all right, here we go. Tony Moochappy said, look, my personal favorite of the Indiana Jones trilogy, Sean Connery, was perfect casting.
Yes.
Yep, Robert makes the cut. It belongs in a museum. Damn right. James Paris said, look, I love this movie. We named the dog Indiana.
Oh, that's right.
Remember that whole famous thing? He was like, he was like, Indiana Junior. Don't call me Junior. But I don't know. I always like that.
This is pop culture's favorite as well. It says it's his favorite and the first one that he ever saw.
Nice. Tony Movie Chappie said, and I love the Russian girl. She was really hot. Elsa. Right? That was her name, right?
Oh, yeah. Wasn't she
Elsa.
German?
She was a Nazi. So she was German.
Yeah, German.
Yeah.
I hate her.
Elsa.
She was hot,
Yeah.
though. She was hot. I agree with Tony.
Hot.
Yeah.
Elsa. Henry Jones. But let me see. All right, here we go.
Yeah, I mean, Nazis. Look, the first and the third movie got Nazis. They're very similar. They're very similar to each other. Well, she was
All right.
Austrian. Okay. That's like the cousin of Germany.
Okay, here we
Essentially.
go. Number 2 on the list. We're getting to the top 1 here. Okay?
Thank you, Harrison.
Here we go.
Charles
Box
Wood
office-
wants to know if we caught the reference in Scooby-Doo to this movie. He's trying to be like James with the Red Notice.
Oh Lord.
All right, here we
Box
go.
office, $836 million, 8 Academy Award nominations, 4 wins, including Best Picture. This is the first movie that has a Best Picture nod win here. 89% critics and 90% audience score. Name that movie.
Here we go. Someone got to get this one.
Someone
I
has
will
to
give
get
one
it.
hint. This movie was guessed earlier.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say who. Someone guessed this movie earlier, but it was in the wrong time.
In the
That's all I'll
wrong
say. So let's see if
place.
anyone gets it. Platoon. Nope.
Mm-mm.
Blade Runner. Nope. Now, and this is funny. In the 80s, and we'll recap it.
No.
But there was only one Best Picture winner out of the
Yeah.
top 10 biggest movies of that decade. The 70s had 5 Best Picture winners.
Piranha 2, The Spawn.
I like David's guesses. I'm starting to see a trend here. I like it.
David's a silly goose.
E.T.
Right. E.T. Nope. Out of
Out of
Africa.
Africa.
Oh, James Paris. Got
There it is. He guessed it last time, too.
Rain Man. So Rain Man won 4 Academy Awards. I mean, well, it won 4 Academy Awards, including the Best Picture. Dustin Hoffman won Best Actor.
Yep.
During the same time. Now, let me tell you, this movie we saw. This is the first time you're watching Rain Man, and it was rough to watch.
Yeah.
It was a rough to watch. And now, I'm not saying the movie's bad. The movie's not horrible. So Dustin Hoffman plays a severe autistic character. That's who he is. And then Tom Cruise is his brother, which he doesn't remember that Dustin Hoffman is his older brother, because he's the younger brother of the two. And his father dies, and then he comes to claim his stuff, and he finds out that someone else got his $3 million, and then he finds out that Dustin Hoffman's character, the kid with the autism, has the movie, and then the movie takes place from there. But it's very rough. So for those of you out there that have not seen a movie with that portrays an autistic person very to the T, let me tell you, to the T, this movie is it. I mean, I have 2 boys with severe autism, so when I watch this movie, it's exactly like Rain Man. Like when he's saying the same things over and over, and and Tom Cruise gets out the car, he's just yelling everywhere. That's what I want to do sometimes, is lock myself in the bathroom, because I got it from 2 point of views, the same thing. So it's very rough, but I enjoyed it. It's a very good movie. He deserved the Oscar, because I was like, man, I was just like, wow. And like I said, if you guys have not seen it, you guys have autism and stuff like that, check it out. You might enjoy it. It's a beautiful story told, but it's a rough one. I teared up a few times throughout the movie. Nate, what did you thought when you saw this?
I don't think I could have said any better. This was the other one that was a first time watch for me. It's a great film. I'm surprised it took me so long to watch it, because I know of it. I've known of it for so long. I just never got around to watching it. Dustin Hoffman, I agree with you. His performance is great. And I you know what I like about it? Even though it's like I guess it's a drama, but they've found a way to include a lot of humor in it too. You know what I mean? And I think that levity kind of helps sometimes with these movies, because if it's just straight dramatic, it could be much. And some movies are just dramatic, but I like when they can sprinkle in a little humor. This, it's not similar, but like when we watch One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, like that subject matter is not something you would think is funny, but they find a way to inject some humor. And I think it makes it infinitely more watchable. Like this is a lot more accessible. Even Tom Cruise is really good. He didn't get any award, anything like that, but a really good role if you've never seen Tom Cruise outside of like action movies.
Yeah,
he can act, and he's really good in this movie. I love the dynamic between them. But yeah, I think you said it best. It's a really, really, really well made, good movie.
Very powerful. It's a very powerful movie. I mean, even towards the end when they're talking with the doctor, because I'm not gonna give it away. If you guys have not seen it, check it out, because there's a lot of cool moments here that you see. It's really good. It's a really good movie. All right, here we go. Robert Makes the Cut says, look, I own the Blu-ray. A very well acted and emotional movie. I agree. James J. Manley said, I saw it on the big screen. Awesome. Pop Culture 33 said, growing up, Rain Man was family film. One is the only that I all liked.
I think he meant like all of us liked.
Oh, that
like his whole family
all liked. Yeah, they all liked. Okay, got it. Really old movie said, like, I always get this one mixed up with the Rainmaker.
Oh,
yeah, okay.
Different. I remember the Rainmaker too, but
Stephanie said, I agree with James. Why?
They think E.T.'s going to be number one.
E.T. might be number one. Okay. Jose's in the house. What's up, Jose?
What's up, Jose?
Tony Movie Chappie said, oh, interesting. I definitely need to check this movie out. It's a very strong movie. You guys can stomach the way he portrays the autism. Pop Culture 33 says Amadeus. I like Amadeus. It's been a while since I've seen
Amadeus. That's every time I see that name, I think of that dumb song.
I'm a with the popolia. I don't know what the hell he said. Amadeus. Oh my God. All right, here we go. Tony Movie Chappie said, look, a very underrated movie with an autistic character that you guys definitely should watch is The Accountant. Let me just tell you, I told my wife that when I finished watching The Accountant, I told her I wanted to send my boys there. So
to training school?
To training school. I'll tell you right now, if they could get ass whooping like that, hell yeah, they could take them, bring them back, ass kicking.
I will say this much. As far as that goes, this is a more accurate portrayal of autism. I think The Accountant, and I like that movie. I like The Accountant, Tony. I agree with you. I think it's a good action movie. But it's not realistic at all in the portrayal of autism. And I think that came out when Hollywood was starting to do that thing where they wanted to make autistic characters like superheroes, pretty much.
Yeah.
And while I don't hate the idea of maybe giving people who are autistic or on the spectrum a character that they can latch onto, as far as accuracy, it's not. And this actually at least is. So, but I agree, Tony. I think it is a good movie. It's but as far as an action movie,
But he had Asperger's.
Yeah, like he's on the spectrum.
He was on the spectrum, but he wasn't. Rain Man is full blown
But he's also like a savant, Rain Man.
Yeah,
which is a real thing. They have those where they have that memory where they can remember stuff. So yeah.
But can incorporate smaller tasks. They could do what computers could do, but when it comes to name a dollar, how much is 50 cents in a dollar, he'll just be stuck where you
Right.
tell him how much is a million times whatever, he'll give it to you
he
in 2
knows it.
seconds.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, trust me, I love The Accountant. That's another movie I can't wait to do in our thing. But I do agree with you that Hollywood thing annoyed me because didn't Power Rangers, the Blue
Power
Ranger
Rangers
had
did the same
autism?
thing.
And
Yeah.
I hated the movie. I was like, get out
And
my
Predator.
face.
Remember the Predator?
the
The kid. It's like they kept doing it. I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah, that did not work. Did not work for me. I was annoyed more.
Triborough,
Jay Manley,
welcome.
I never understood autism until this movie. Hey, what's up, Triborough? Yeah, I mean, it's very true to life and stuff. But anyway, this was number 2. Now let's get to number 1. Now,
Let's give them those stats. I think
Give
they know.
you guys
Let's just
stats.
give them the stats first, though.
you guys gonna know. This movie grossed $2.2 billion in the box office, 9 Academy Award nominations, 4 wins, 99% critics, 72% audience. Name that movie. I already know.
You guys have named it 15,000 times already.
Pretty much. I'm just gonna throw this shit up there.
Yeah.
E.T. Phone Home. That's exactly it. It is E.T. E.T. made a whopping $2.2 billion with inflation. At the time, it did not do $2 billion. But
No,
with
but
inflation,
it did like 700 something million in 80s dollars,
Yeah.
which comes out to 2.29 billion now.
I saw this movie for the first time this weekend.
I can't believe that. I was surprised, but once you told me why, and I kind of understood your point of view, but
It's not
I was
for me.
surprised.
It's not for me. I did not like it. I was like, yo, I don't see what. I was like, that's okay, good. was
I
like,
absolutely love
I know
this
you
movie.
did.
It's so good. I mean, look, I living in Orlando, I grew up going to the theme parks, and we have a ride here, the ET ride at Universal Studios. It's literally like going in the movie, and it's so accurate. It's great. You're like in a forest and everything. It's fantastic. But I actually rode that ride when I was a kid before seeing the movie, and they were scary. Well, it was scary in 1992 and 93. It's not scary now. But the movie I ended up watching after, and I fell in love with it. Now, granted, we've already discussed this. I am a Spielberg mark. I love him. I think he's just the greatest. I think he's the greatest director on the whole. But this is not my favorite of his movies, but I love the movie. The score from John Williams is, I mean, the second I hear a note of it, I know what it is. I love Henry Thomas as Elliot. I like their relationship with him and E.T. Is it creepy? Is he ugly? Yes. I think it's not a beautiful alien design. But I mean, it's unique. It's memorable. It's a touching story. I think it's amazing. But Alex, I can understand. I know a few other people who are not fans. So,
Yeah. Well, the
I
funny
mean, it
thing
has a
is,
72%.
when I went to Universal for the first time with my wife, this is the ride I did not want to do. I did all the other rides, and she goes, "Let's do E.T." I said, "You want to do it? You go do it." I was like, "I'm not."
You got to do it. The
do
line
it.
smells like a forest. It's incredible. It's amazing. It's great. They pump in like forest smells. Fantastic. It smells like damp wood and river water.
Well, I did the King Kong one. I love that one.
That was a classic too.
That was a good one. All right, here we go. My wife said, "Look, I always hated the ET ride because as a kid, you think you really are going to ride the bike." She's laughing.
Yeah.
She thought
Yeah,
you were gonna
well-
fly up like a buffoon.
Listen, you guys don't understand. Okay? You guys don't understand.
guys don't
It's amazing. It's fantastic. Okay?
Yeah.
But I respect your opinion. Tony says E.T. is a great movie and one of the few movies that actually made me cry when E.T. almost died. Very good. Stephanie, I love that ride. It's my mom's favorite. It is my mom's favorite as well. They can get along. Pop Culture 33 says E.T. used to scare me as a kid. This is a common phobia is E.T. The scene with all the scientists and the doctors, the Flight of the Navigator also scared him. Okay, let's see what else we got. Triborough says this is a top 5 Spielberg film. No argument. It's too bad they cut out the Harrison Ford cameo. That's right. He did have a cameo in this. They cut it out. Robert's still just naming weird movies. James, I first tried Reese's Pieces because of this movie. That's right. He gives them little Reese's Pieces. E.T. makes a cameo in the prequel to Star Wars. I remember that.
Well, he saw Yoda and he knew Yoda.
Right. Remember, he walks over to him when he sees him. Yeah. And then in the E.T. in the Star Wars prequels, he's in that the meeting of all the senators and all that crap. There's
But he named them.
Yeah.
He said
the little
Yoda.
mud people.
He said Yoda, and I was like, did he just say Yoda? Like, It's like, why is it
The ride wasn't that bad for what it is. Thanks, Jose. James loved Mac and Me. I hated that movie. I only ever saw it when I went to James' house when I was a kid. He was. You want to talk about ugly aliens? Mac and Me and all his creepy parents, the ugliest aliens that have ever been in a kid's movie. Mac and Me is an ET ripoff, and it's a must-watch. And Mac and Me also an excuse for McDonald's to be in a movie. I actually like Predator, but it definitely had some issues. Yeah, Predator is good.
Predator?
And now Robert just says Peter Coyote. And then
Wait, the original
pop culture,
Predator
Mac and Me was
had
my sister's
issues?
favorite.
Is that what you just said?
Say it again.
You said the original Predator had issues?
I actually like the first Predator, but it definitely had its issues, and I wish we could see the original director's cut. I have no issues.
I didn't even know they
thought
had
Predator. It's pretty
director's
great.
I think
But
it was good.
I don't know. Yeah, E.T., this is not surprising. You look at the box office.
Yeah.
This is an 80. This is like a quintessential 80s film. Spielberg, John Williams score again. And, like we talked about, left off the list. You guys named so many movies that were, when I went through that top 50, all those movies were in there. Platoon and, Die Hard and Predator, Gremlins, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future 2, Crocodile Dundee was like way high up, made a lot of money. Very diverse set of movies. And me and Alex talked about it. We almost made it where we were only going to include one movie per franchise, which means if we took out the other Indiana Jones movie, the other Star Wars movie, I think the other two movies that got in would have been Ghostbusters and I don't remember the other one, but we decided to just go with the numbers. But yeah, 80s was impressive.
Yeah, and we're gonna do another one of these battles, and then we'll add more movies into it. New criterias and more dynamic categories, right? Like, so we can have more flavor for you guys. Maybe we do dramas of the 80s, 90s, 2000s. We'll have
Specific genres.
Yeah, specific genres. Maybe so you guys can have some fun with that. This is mix of everything through the decades. So we'll give you guys another
just
one.
to recap, 1970s, 87 Academy Award nominations between those 41 wins. That was 70. 80s, 60 total Academy Award nominations across the 10 films, 24 wins. So pop culture called it right at the beginning. A lot less award love for these movies, but huge, more money, way more box office and that's going to be a trend. The box office numbers for these start to get like wild. The more closer to now we get, where like every movie's making $1 billion, even if they're good or not. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to see how that swings.
Yeah, I mean, look, other than that, March, we're going to be doing the March Movie Madness. Now, we got a little hiccup. Ghostbusters, because that's what we were going to give out. Ghostbusters is not being sold no more. It was a limited edition. No one knew it was a limited edition.
We
The
didn't
box,
know.
I did the opening for the box. If you guys have not checked it out, check it out on the channel. It doesn't even say limited edition on the box, like at all. But we're not giving that away. So the way we're going to do it is, I'm thinking the more people that show up on the tournament, the bigger the prize. I'm not going to name them yet. We're not going to name it yet. So the more people that participate, the bigger the box set. That's what I'll say. So someone's going to win a box set. We just got to see how many people. The more that enters, the bigger the box set. But yeah, it sucks with the Ghostbusters. Let me just tell you guys now, I watched the first two movies, and the movies look amazing on Adobe Vision. It looks super clear.
Nice.
But with that said, Michael Mann, we're going to break down all his films on April 4th of this year, next month, April 4th. And hopefully we get spring training going so I can get some baseball up in here. And then, of course, more on the channel. We're going to continue. Next week, we're going to be hitting the 90s now. This is our era now. Yeah, that's your decade, favorite decade, but it's pretty much me growing up also. That's another big 90s era. So we're going to find out what movies made the list in the 90s portion of the show. So again, next week, the battle of the decades is the 90s. So you guys think some movies up there. And again, Michael Mann. So you guys enjoy watching your Michael Mann movies. So we guys could sit down and talk with us on it. And again, this week if you guys listen to the Action Movie Guys podcast, we are tackling Superman. Oh, baby. I watched the 3-hour cut because that's what I'm going to be breaking down on the damn podcast. And Nate is going to be breaking down the regular hour
Watched
and
it
something
today.
minutes.
2 hours and a half.
Yep,
2
and I
hours and a
did
half.
3 hours of my man Christopher Reeve's luscious blue eyes. So
Yeah, and 3 of those are first time watches for me. Never seen 2, never seen 3. And I'll be honest with you, I saw this one when I was younger. I don't remember. This was essentially a first time watch for me. So all of them up until Superman Returns are pretty much like I don't really remember them or I've never seen them. So interested. And of course, Black History Month, Equalizer 2 is the other movie we're doing.
Ooh, yeah. So we broke down some Equalizer 1. You guys can check it out. But like I said, Bumblebee was released today. The next episode will be Equalizer 1, and then we are caught up with everything. And then we record tomorrow, and then you guys will have all brand new stuff coming out. And also the video versions of the podcast will be coming out weekly. So last week I put out The Last Crusade. Next week, this week is going to be episode 65. I'm going to be doing a brand new unboxing. This time I'm going to be unboxing the Back to the Future 4K Plutonium case that came out. It's a 1,000 limited. That's what I'm going to be opening up this week as an unboxing. I have tons of stuff I have not opened, so that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to
unbox this giant Funko Pop that I got for my birthday of of Hulk from Thor Ragnarok. Shout out to patron / also my cousin Beckish for giving me this for my birthday. She already knows who's the man, the Hulk. This thing is gigantic. I'm not taking it out. I'm not unboxing it. That was a lie. I'm gonna keep it in the
unbox
box.
it. It gets all dusty. And,
it's awesome.
And all that. But again, guys, that's pretty much everything that's coming out on the YouTube channel, and that's everything that's coming out also on the podcast front. So if you guys are listening, you guys got content there. You guys watching the channel, you guys got content coming out throughout the week. Also, other than that, today was a fun day. We went to the 80s. I love my 80s. Next week, can't wait to hit those 90s because that's going to be actually pretty fun. I don't know what kind of music 90s had, so we're going to have fun with that.
Grunge rock, some Kurt Cobain, some Pearl Jam.
Hey, maybe we'll do a little bit of music while we do some movies. We'll talk a little bit about music.
The 90s music is my favorite. Everything about it.
We'll talk in between the movies. While people are guessing, we'll talk a little music in between. Have some fun with that. But other than that, I'm your host, Alex Figueroa, and that is
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
Thank you so much to all the Patreons out there that support the channel. And again, guys, be awesome to each other and geek out. Hey, before you go, please consider subscribing to the channel, hitting them like buttons if you enjoyed this live stream, and of course, hit those notification bells so you guys will be notified. Till then, be awesome to each other.